The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is one of those films that makes you sit up and say, wow, they don't make them like this anymore. Directed by Sergio Leone in 1966, this epic western isn't just about shootouts and cowboy hats. It's a wild ride through the American Civil War with three guys who are as different as night and day, and possibly worse. So, what's the deal with westerns? Simply put, they are films set in the American Wild West, usually involving cowboys, bandits, and a whole lot of dust. Think big deserts, saloons, and duels at high noon. But this one's a bit special. It belongs to a subgenre called spaghetti westerns. Why spaghetti? Well, because most of these films, including this one, were shot in Italy and Spain by Italian directors like our man Sergio Leone. Now, let's talk about the story. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is all about, you guessed it, three very different characters. There's the good, Clint Eastwood, who to be honest isn't exactly a saint but gets the job done with style. Then there's the bad, Lee Van Cleef, a ruthless guy who doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. And finally, the ugly, Eli Wallach, a crafty, fast-talking bandit with a habit of getting into trouble but somehow always crawling out of it. These three are on the hunt for buried gold, and let's just say things get pretty tense as they try to outsmart each other. It's less of a treasure hunt and more of a survival game with lots of double crossing and one epic showdown. Clint Eastwood as Blondie, yep, that's his character's name, really nailed the silent but deadly cowboy vibe. With his poncho, squinty eyes, and barely there dialogue, he redefined what it means to be the cool guy. Eastwood was already popular, but this film sent him straight to superstardom. And guess what? He was paid a cool $250,000 for the role back in 1966. Not bad for a man of few words, huh? The magic behind this masterpiece comes from Sergio Leone, the director who could turn a dusty desert scene into pure cinematic gold. He's the guy who thought, let's make these standoffs extra long and super tense. So, those close-up shots of the actors' faces, the slow building music, and the dramatic silences, that's all Leone's genius at work. Instead of rushing things, he lets the moments breathe, and by the time the guns are drawn, you're holding your breath without even realizing it. And speaking of music, we cannot forget Ennio Morricone's unforgettable score. You know the one, that iconic whistle and haunting theme that has become the very sound of the Wild West. Fun fact, Leone actually played the music on set during the climactic graveyard scene to get the actors into the right mood. It worked like a charm, and the result is one of the most intense standoffs in movie history. Now, here's some trivia that'll make you appreciate this classic even more. The epic final showdown, filmed in a massive graveyard, took days to shoot under the hot Spanish sun. And because the film was shot in multiple languages, some actors spoke English, the others Italian, the dialogue was dubbed over later. So if you notice the lip sync being a bit off, that's why. The film isn't just about gunslingers and gold. It's a masterclass in showing that the lines between good and bad are often blurry. Sure, Blondie is called the good, but he's not exactly Mr. Morality, and the ugly might have some redeeming qualities buried under all that grime. Leone plays all these shades of grey beautifully, making us question who the real hero is. If you are someone who's never dipped your toes into westerns, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is the perfect gateway film. It's got everything: action, tension, humor, and a story that keeps you hooked till the very end. And even if you're not into cowboys, Clint Eastwood's sheer coolness might just win you over. So next time you're looking for an epic movie night, saddle up and give this classic a watch. You won't regret it.